What's good, you guys? Let's just cut to the chase because I feel like I owe y'all an explanation, even though half of y'all probably don't care. Probably none of y'all care. I should have posted way more frequently. Like I said I was going to be consistent, didn't happen. I'm really trying to change that. Like it's not even my fault because I've been trying to record this video for so long, but I didn't have any space on my phone because like now since I pay for this phone, I use up space very quickly. But this video, I don't want to make it too long, but it's going to be a story time, so it might be a little lengthy. You might as well get your snack or whatever, you know, just kick your feet up, chill out, cast your phone to the TV, do something, because we about to talk about a lot. So without further ado, let's get into this video. All right, so I'm bringing to y'all a story time because, you know, like I said a million times now, I want to switch up my content a bit to see whatever y'all like. Y'all let me know what y'all like or whatever, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to do that for y'all, you know. I'm bringing y'all the story time of the fakest friend I've ever had. Now, this is not the only fake friend that I've ever had, but she's the top one. Like she's the top fakest friend that I've ever had, so it's going to be a lot. Before I start, I just want people to know this video is not meant to start things over or whatever, you know. It's none of that. It's just simply talking about the fakest friend I ever had, and I'm basically just going to be telling people the truth because for years I've been misunderstood, and I just want to get my words out now because now I'm over it. So I'm in a space where I can easily talk about it without getting angry and like, you know, I mean, I'm gonna get mad because that was a huge portion of my life. But this fake friend, we're going to call her Tamara. All these names are going to be substituted, so none of these people have the same name at all. We met in 2nd grade at my church because my church was having this event we call Revival, well, my old church, because I don't go there no more. But we met at that church, and she was actually a guest church. So we saw each other. We used to hate each other, by the way, but we just saw each other in church or whatever, and we just kept looking at each other like, why are you here? Like, what? Why are you here? Like, what? We just kept looking at each other like what are you here for? Like, I don't like you. Why are you here? Like, so the next day I go over to her since she's with people that I usually talk to, and she's like, you go to so-and-so church. I'm like, yeah. You go to this church? And then she's like, yeah. And then we just started bonding off of that. Like, we just, you know, we became mad cool because we both go to church and our churches sometimes see each other, and you know. But that's how we met. We hated each other and then we became cool over church, which is not bad. Not bad at all. That was the background for how we met. Now we just gonna talk about a little background before the story begins. In 5th grade, I used to like this boy. We'll call him Evan. He was like, you know, like the super outgoing type, and like he was new. Nobody knew him. He came from, I don't even remember where he came from, but he was cute. So I was like, oh, he cute. But I didn't tell nobody about that because I knew how everybody was messy or whatever. So, you know, I never said anything. I ended up telling Tamara that I liked him because she could kind of just sense it. So we were in class or whatever. It was around the end of the year. My teacher, he used to have like a science class type thing. I think we were making bread into Play-Doh. He was super laid back. I'm over here editing this video and I realized that I called this man laid back. This is the same man who literally threw my desk out of the classroom, out of his classroom. Like, I mean, he was a cool teacher, yeah, but like, he was cool when he wasn't in teacher mode. That's the thing. So yeah, I don't know what was so laid back about him, but I don't know. Anyways, so she asked to go to the bathroom. You know, she has to go to get water, and I asked to go to the bathroom. I guess we were both trying to find a way to get out of class. So we both walked out. I think it was at the same time, but he didn't really care. I go with my friend, and we walking and talking, and then we go to the bathroom or whatever. And let's just keep in mind that was definitely necessary. That was definitely necessary. See, they think it's New York. Are y'all done? Anyway, I was about to explain. Classrooms go from 1 to 6. So I was basically in classroom 1, and then there's classroom 6, and then there's a bathroom right across from classroom 6. That's where me and friend went. Me and Tamara, we went into the bathroom or whatever and everything. And then as we were walking out, we both saw Evan. So he was talking to Tamara because him and her were like brother and sister. Not like the in public brother sister and yeah. None of that. But they were actually just really close and everything. But I ain't minded or whatever. So he starts walking us back to class. They were talking. It was kind of weird between me and Evan because like we never really spoke to each other. That was the very first time we kind of met per se. I think he was in our class before, but then he ended up switching over to the other class because they were both the same grade. Time skip to 6th grade. I got thirsty, my bad. So in 6th grade, I was getting heavily bullied by my teacher. If y'all want a story time about that, I'm gonna tell y'all from A to Z. Like I'm gonna just tell y'all everything because I don't care no more. If y'all want that story time, if y'all want to hear about all the times that I got bullied, I'm gonna just make a whole video about it. It might be long, but like I'm gonna just make a whole video about it if y'all want to see it. So you know. But I was getting heavily bullied by my teacher. My teacher also encouraged students to bully me too. But again, we'll talk about that later. So there was basically a time where we were all in class. Me and Tamara were in the same class. And that's when there was this time where we had to go over a worksheet packet that my teacher gave to us. And she was walking around telling people that they had to have their stuff. Mind you, time before this, I was constantly telling her, I need a packet, and she just wasn't listening. That day happened, she asked me if I did my packet, and I'm like, I need another packet, I was trying to tell you that. And then she's like, okay, watch this class. So she goes over to me, and then she snatches my book bag, and which she also decided to empty out onto the floor as she was looking for this folder that I had. She grabs my folder, and then she starts looking for the packet, and the packet is right there in the front. Even though I was literally looking for this packet for weeks. And the thing is, I honestly think that she planted it inside of my bag while I was in lunch or something or whatever, because I don't know. But I'm not gonna sit there and accuse her of that. I'm not gonna accuse her because I don't know that. I don't got proof of that. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me because why would I, knowing the teacher that I have is known for embarrassing me, why would I sit there and put a worksheet packet in the front of the folder knowing that she's going to look for it? Anyway, when she did that, Tamara, she saw it and then she looked all shocked or whatever. And then while everybody was over there laughing at me, she just sat there looking like... And I'm just like... So I was telling you that this lady was bullying me constantly, and you immediately believe her. But whatever. I'm just like, all right, whatever. That was a time where it was just kind of like, something is weird about her. But I shrugged it off. It was just like, okay, whatever. On top of that, she was cool with everybody inside of the class, even though nobody in the class liked me. Did I care? Not really. 7th grade. Things happened with Duke. He told me that he liked me. It's so funny because I kind of predicted the scenario, shockingly. I used to have this power where I could predict what's going to happen. Like, I was literally in class that day. We couldn't get a substitute, so we ended up having to split into different classes. So while we were in class, I was thinking in my head, like, what if this is how relationships start? Because it was middle school, and you know, middle school just... Anyway, that day he ended up... First of all, he said,
oh yeah, so-and-so said that you look real good when you got your braids in.
The way he went about it was weird. He liked me and I told him that I liked him. Actually, no, I didn't tell him that, I don't think. I don't know. But he basically did ask me to date him. I remember saying I don't know. But after that, we didn't really do anything. Just, you know, flirting. Like, you know, middle school and this and that or whatever, yeah. It was interesting. Tamara was the only one who knew about the situation because she liked some other dude. Like, she used to date some other dude or whatever, and he was there too. So him and him were friends, and then me and her were friends or whatever. So it's like, she was the only girl who knew about, like, you know, me and Evan liking each other or whatever. Because we just kept everything a secret. I was really secretive. So things happened. Only Tamara knew. Get to 8th grade. we get 2 new students. One was, I think, black and white, and then the other one was Hispanic. So Evan ends up liking a Hispanic girl. Mind you, I'm cool with her. Everything is cool. I don't really care that Evan likes her because I literally said no to him. So it's like, if I'm saying no to you, then why would I care about? Anyway, not the point. So he ends up liking her and everything. And I'm just like, oh, that's cute. That's when me and Tamara end up getting into an argument. Like, you know, not talking to each other for a while. She decides to go around spreading my business, telling people like,
oh, Marcia's just mad because Evan found another girl to like, and she needs to understand that he's over her and that he don't like her.
Mind you, I said no to him. I didn't hear her exactly say it, but I knew that it was her because she was the only one who knew the situation. Like, she knew all of that. But she thought that I was jealous of I don't know. Maybe I did something that made her think that I was jealous. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I was. It was middle school. Like, I don't know and I don't remember. But I don't think I was because I was literally friends with the girl. So I don't know what I had to be jealous of. But some random girl tells me, like, oh yeah, she said that you need to get over whatchamacallit because he doesn't like you no more and that you're just jealous because he likes her. And I'm like, what? She said that? And then she's like, yeah. Oh, really? Okay, word. There's one day where me and her end up getting in trouble in gym. So we end up having to stay like in the parking lot area or whatever. And we're just both standing, but like we're standing at a distance. And then that's when after a while she walks over to me because everybody else is like doing like this little thing called the outdoor classroom. But yeah, so she ends up walking over to me and she's like, why aren't we friends? Because you're weird. Like, what? I think I said something about like I hate us being on and off friends or whatever and I don't like that or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what we said, but I don't remember what we were mad about or whatever. So I was mad at her. I told her, I've been hearing that you had my business in your mouth. And I was telling her like, yo, what is going on? Because I know good and well that you told so-and-so that I was jealous about this and that or whatever. And she's like, what? I never said that. She was literally the only one who knew about it. All of a sudden now other people know about it. Like, that's weird. After a while, time passes. Another student comes. And me and that girl are cool at first. And then, like, we have a fallout. Like, we were literally so cool that people were calling us twins and everything because she was African. Me and her were really cool. But after a while, we got into, like, an argument. And I stopped talking to her. And it's, like, after a while, like, me and her, okay, so we never hated each other or whatever. But it's, like, we will both say slick stuff about each other. Like, she'll be calling me petty. Because, I don't know, I was petty when I was younger. But it's like, she'll be calling me petty or whatever. And I'll be like, what? Petty? Oh, yeah, I'm petty and I'm childish or whatever. And then me and my friends will laugh about it. Because, I mean, like, I wasn't really bothering her. Like, I was petty to other people. And when I say I was petty to other people, it's because those were the same group of people who used to bully me. And after a while, I just learned how to stick up for myself. So they all thought that I was one of those, you know, the situations where people become bullies after getting bullied and this and that or whatever. That's what they thought the situation was. But I was never really bothering her or whatever. Me and her become cool because one day we're all in like 8th grade or whatever. And everybody thinks that I'm bullying the girl. And I'm just like, I'm not bullying her. Like, no, we're not cool. But it's like, I'm not bullying her. I'm not worried about her. Basically, you get in class and we're all working on a group thing. We had a group of 4. And then there were other people who had groups of 4 or whatever. But she was the only one who was out. So my friend at the time, she was basically like, oh, you know what? She's all by herself. Let's bring her over or whatever. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. That's a good idea because she's going to work all by herself or whatever. We don't want that. So we decided to invite her into our group and everything. And that's when we did that. And then we, like, once again, we went back to talking. Things were cool. After a while, it got closer to graduation time and she stopped showing up to school. Something happened. All right. Ignore the background noise, but in this moment, I was kind of contemplating talking about it, but it ended up being quite important to the story, and you guys will see why a bit later. Okay. I'ma say this. Basically, the girl ends up passing away. The thing is, the girl, she used to get bullied at her old school or whatever, which is why she came to this school and everything. But everybody thought that I was bullying her because me and her didn't talk anymore. Like, we didn't like each other anymore or whatever. We worked out our differences behind closed doors, and we literally talked to each other about everything. And we became cool or whatever. And then that's when the group situation happened. That happened. She passed away before graduation, like right before graduation. Then we had graduation, and Tamara, she was over here crying on my shoulder. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do without y'all because y'all are always the ones telling me to believe myself. And I'm telling her, like, it sucks, but you know, we got each other on Snapchat and we got each other on Kik. We used to talk on Kik anyway sometimes. We talked that whole summer, like that whole 8th grade year of summer, like when I was about to be in 9th grade, we talked that whole summer. I started noticing weird stuff because I would be sitting there talking about somebody. I would be like, oh, remember when this person, she's like,
oh, she don't like you.
And I'm like, what? Why don't she like me? Then she was like,
oh yeah, she heard something about you talking about her or something like that. Then
I was like, oh, well, do you have like her Instagram or her Snap or something so that I could go ahead and get in touch with her so I could squash the beef? Then she's like,
you're not gonna see her anymore or nothing, so there's no point. You might as well just get over it.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. Not thinking much of it. We were talking or whatever, but it was just like not the same. It happened so long ago that I don't remember the time, like the timeline or whatever. But I know that there was a point in time where I was telling her like, hey, I'm just checking on you, this and that or whatever. How are you? Then she's like,
I'm really good. I have a boyfriend and a best friend who love me.
And I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's cute. And then she's like, yeah. Then I think I asked her about who she still talks to or whatever, like, you know, like in middle school, because, you know, everybody was always interested in that. Like, oh, yeah, you still talk to this person, you still talk to this person. But, like, she was like, no, I don't talk to anybody. I just focus on myself, this and that or whatever. And the past is the past. And da, 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 da. So I'm over here and this crusty bond is still editing. And I remember exactly what she said now. She said, I have to put behind me so that I can move forward with my life and realize that I'll make more friends or something like that. She said something along those lines. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. Next thing you know, in 10th grade, I end up going to my old friend's birthday party. When I started recording this, I didn't give her a name, so we'll just call her Jody. I was texting her or whatever about it, and then she was like, oh yeah, I want to make sure you're okay because Tamara's gonna be there. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's lit. We could all see each other, you know, we lit. And then she's like, okay, cool. So I get there, and then I see my old friend. She's one girl that I still talk to, that she's still mad cool. I still have yet to tell her any of this either. But I saw her and we were like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, I miss you. She was mad cool. Like, I still mess with her. That's the only girl that I still talk to from middle school. So I basically saw Tamara and I was like, okay, so she's giving me the cold shoulder. Like, that's weird. But mind you, she's been looking at my Snapchat stories and this and that or whatever. So I'm like, okay, you're looking at my Snapchat stories and you're looking at my Instagram, but you're not cool with me? Like, it was weird. It wasn't making sense to me or whatever. So I was just like, okay, that's weird. So I posted, I remember when I got home that night, I posted on Snapchat like, I'm getting thirsty. After that, she saw the post. She didn't say nothing. I started ignoring it. And I see that she's still looking at my stories and stuff. So I'm just like, okay. I asked my other friend, the girl whose party I went to. I asked her, I was like, do you know why whatchamacallit was giving me the cold shoulder? Like, then she's like, oh, you don't know? Then I'm like, no, I don't. Then she's like, I thought you knew because of the thing with the girl who passed. And then I'm like, what? Like, you're telling me that she got beef with me from something that long ago when she was still like talking to me the whole summer and literally cried on my shoulder? And then she's like, yeah, I thought that you knew about it, like, but I can't speak too much on it because you know, it's not my place to say. And I'm just like, not your place to say. Like, what? Like, you're one of my friends, like one of my closest friends, and you think that it's okay to leave information about me out? Like, you don't want to tell me information that's literally about me? Like, what? Like, that's weird. It's not making sense. So basically I'm just like, okay, you know what, that's weird, whatever. So I tell her that she's a fake friend, because she is a fake friend. She didn't tell me that Tamara didn't like me. Like, she didn't tell me, and then she was letting Tamara talk about me to other people and make it seem like I was the reason for whatchamacallit passing away, like making it seem like I was bullying her and this and that or whatever. But I could tell you this right now, there are only 3 people who can actually speak on the situation with me, but I wouldn't let any of them speak because they don't like me. Like, there's only one that I was cool with her, but I kind of just didn't have time to respond to her, like nothing personal or whatever. And then there was another friend that I really miss her, but she don't care about me. It's whatever. She just outgrew me, I guess, because she never had time to hang out or whatever. She was always working, and there were times where she stood me up, but we're not going to talk about that here. Anyway, and then the other friend was the girl that she told me don't like me. And it's funny because that friend also got her friends at her new school to start bidding on me when I was in high school and everything. So they all just messaged me like, oh, you that girl Marcia? Okay, well, da-da-da told us to bid on you and this and that. And then, like, I started getting bullied from there. Like, it was just... it was a lot. But Tamara basically went and told everybody that I was the reason for this person going through this and that and everything. And that's what I'm like, what? But yeah, so as I'm realizing, I'm just like, yo, she was behind all my friendships dropping. I was also friends with some other girl, but she wasn't really that cool with me no more. Like, me and her used to be friends. Like, we had a barbecue and she came over and this and that or whatever. Like, it was me, her, and the other girl. Like, it was cool or whatever. But she just stopped talking to me and everything. Like, ever since we got out of middle school, it's like she was just waiting to not talk to me. I mean, to each his own. Like, it don't matter because, like, you know, people outgrow each other, whatever, and everything. But, like, she just doesn't like me because of the wrong reason. Like, she doesn't like me because of whatever Tamara told her. Like, Tamara was telling people everything behind my back. And I know she was because I didn't know that she was telling the other girl who had the party about stuff behind my back. Like, I'm not sure of why I never included this part of the video, but a year after I found out that Tamara didn't like me, I decided to message her and see what the actual beef was about with me, because I really didn't understand why she had to be shady with the way she went about things. So as you can see, she was obviously happy that she just got away with talking about me and ruining my main friendships from that school, but she clearly wanted to run away from the conversation. So she decided to play it off and say she didn't remember anything that happened and that there was no beef. It's just so interesting to me. Like, you go to confront the person and they can't say any of the things they said about you to your face. Instead, they want to play the get over it card to show fake maturity. So now here we have Jody asking me what happened since Tamara once again decided to talk about me to her. So Jody gets inserted into the situation, and as you guys can see, she sides with Tamara, of course, and tells me basically that I should have gotten over it a long time ago. Although I genuinely just wanted to give Tamara a chance for her side to be heard. But guess what? Now I am well over it, and now this is a story I can look back on and tell people I grew from. Moral of the story, not everyone is your friend, and be careful for the wolves in sheep's clothing. But anyway, that's the story of the fakest friend that I had, and like, she made everybody not like me too. So the only girl who does like me is the one that I still talk to. Like, that's still my friend or whatever. She's the only one that I follow from my old school. But yeah, but that's basically it. If y'all want to see another story time, y'all go ahead and just comment down below and let me know what's up. And you know, if you want to see other videos, let me know, because I'm down to do whatever videos y'all want, you know. So if you like this video, Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what to fix or what to do better, or, you know, tell me what you liked about the video. Let me know. We're friends here. If you want, you can go ahead and look at my Instagram, which is going to be linked below, or my Snapchat. You can follow me on Snapchat. Either one is cool, you know, either one is cool. I don't really message people back on Instagram though, so you might have to message me on Snap. But if you message me on Snap, just let me know that you're from YouTube, because otherwise I might ignore you, because I do that kind of, unfortunately. Yeah, anyway, peace out.